All right, we've got a dream message, and this has a lot of parts to it. Before we get in it, I just want to preface this by saying yes, pain is real. Yes, there are people in this world that are actually suffering and going through hard things right now. I'm not trying to diminish that when I get into the message a bit further, okay? Um, Now, okay, with that, a lot of macro world stage, a lot of the pain and suffering that people are going through is orchestrated. It is deceptive. It's not actually reality, it's the deceptive created reality by the few, okay? And if we stop playing their game, they aren't able to orchestrate that, which diminishes the collateral damage, pain, and suffering that they are able to inflict in these orchestrated, created deceptive things, okay? On a micro scale, it's the same thing in our personal lives. Our choices, the people that we choose to be around, to interact with, the situations that we choose to continue to keep ourselves involved in, they will perpetuate that pain and suffering. And if we make healthier, more aligned choices, we diminish that impact, that potential for the pain and suffering. All right. Now, parts of this will resonate for some. All of it may resonate, but some of it is not going to for some. Okay. Some people, I know there are collectives that are completely detaching from outside love, and not that they're not open to outside love, not that they don't want outside love, but they're detaching from the narratives, the titles, the games that a lot of these outside people want to continue playing, and they're removing themselves. They're completely detaching, especially when it comes to like a divine connection or a fated connection that another party is trying to interfere with. A lot of the collectives that I've been encountering recently, or maybe not a lot, but the collectives that I've been encountering recently, they're detaching from that whole situation. They're leaving that in the hands of the other party to decide what they want to do, and remove the outside parties that are able to interfere, or to stop those outside parties from being able to interfere, because it's connected through their side. So they're kind of the ones that need to make the move there. There's nothing for the collective in this situation to do in that situation. And that's part of where this dream comes in. So I know some of you aren't going to want to hear it. Some of you need to hear it. Others of you want to hear it. There is this fated spiritual connection between you and someone else, and there is an outside energy. In my dream, it was a woman. It does not have to be, though, but it was a very claiming energy. They saw the counterpart, your counterpart, as theirs, and they were wanting the collective to be in fear of what they could do to the collective, what could be sent to the collective energetically, magically, that type of stuff. They wanted there to be a fear on the collective side of what this person could do to interfere. And unfortunately for this other party, this third party, for lack of better terms, this very claiming energy, it's very obsessive, controlling, and like object, not seeing this other person as a person, but as their object, as their thing. The collective is not buying into that fear. The collective is very everything is a learning lesson for me, and when it's my time to go, it'll be my time to go. There ain't nothing you guys can do to speed that up. There's nothing I can do to stop that. So I'm not going to be afraid of what's being sent. I'm going to use it as a learning lesson for strengthening of my own protections, and recognizing what all people are actually doing out here. And that has put this claiming energy into a fear, which is expanding their doings, if you will. In my dream, rosary and Catholic churches were involved. It does not have to be, though. It could just be pointing to they are making it appear that they are praying for this person that they're very claiming over, when really they're praying on them. They're not praying for their best interest. They're praying for them to stay in this bound place. In my dream, the man was very, when this woman was around, this man was very almost asleep, like not aware at all, kind of zombie-like. And that's the praying that she's doing. However, because she's orchestrating it, and the planets are doing what the planets do, and energies are shifting, a lot of that is falling away. A lot of that collateral damage is coming to the surface. Collective, you do need to be aware, whether you know this person or not, that there is energy being thrown, so you do need to keep yourself protected. Vicky could be significant, or they could just be trying to flip the script. They could be trying to act like they're the ones praying for this person and for their health and well-being and safety, and that you're actually the one doing magic and energy work. But eventually this masculine will be woken up to the fact, this man will be woken up to the fact that the collective isn't doing anything but healing and on their destined path. If this is resonating and you're like, yeah, I'm in that situation, collective, if you're the one that's on the outside of this connection, you're not the third party, you don't need to do anything but continue healing, protect yourself, focus on your path. Okay, you don't need to try to wake him up. You don't need to try to do nothing. You keep your hands out of the cookie jar. All right. He will eventually have to wake up and recognize who and what is around him and take the steps to remove that, or take the steps to protect him and protect the fated connection. If he doesn't take those steps, then there's nothing for you to do. You keep going and other things will be aligned. Okay. Now, for people as a whole, there is a lot of pain and suffering in our lives because of the choices we make. The people that we choose to align with, that we choose to stay connected to, even when we see that it's not healthy for us, we're not happy where we are, as flies are in now. We're not happy where we are. It's not working in our best interest, but instead of leaving the situation, we stay in this place of comfort. We stay in this place of familiarity. And it's not comfort as in, ooh, cozy. It's comfort as in, this is familiar. I know what to expect from this person. I know when the poo hits the fan, how they're going to react. I know what's going to happen if I go outside of this. I don't know what people are going to do. It's giving very much that. When we start making those hard choices to remove ourselves from people, places, and things, situations that are not healthy for us, that are not actually aligned, we minimize the pain and suffering that we have in our life. And I say this not only from the dream, but from me having lived it. I had a lot of, go back 10 years, go back 15 years. I had a lot of, even go back to 2020, 2021. I had a lot of gunking my life up, which caused more pain and more suffering, more situations that were harmful, that were hurtful. And I'm not saying I was innocent in all of it. I'm not saying someone else was the villain, and I'm none of that. But I'm saying I had more pain and suffering in my life because I was choosing to stay in situations, in environments, in connections that I was already seeing the red flags were not healthy for me. For the sake of titles, for the sake of still not fully being okay being alone. I'm somebody that has been healing codependency and people pleasing for a long time. So it's all of these little things that kept me tied to it. The what if, what if they can change? What if things can get better? Maybe it'll be different this time. And I've noticed that as I have recognized who people are and how they're choosing to show up now, not who they could be in the future, but now, and I've removed myself from things that did not feel good, that did not feel aligned, that brought more confusion and suffering. As I've removed myself from those things, I have far less, exponentially less pain and suffering in my life. I have never had such a peaceful, smooth going life in the entirety of my over 4 decades of existence. Okay. So I know that it is possible to remove some of that pain and suffering by removing yourself from the things that are not aligned. All right. I don't think that we really need cards. I'm just going to see if there's anything else Source wants to add. And then this one is probably just going to be pretty short. I mean, it's 11 and a half minutes in, so short for me, I guess. If you haven't noticed, I don't do very well with 2-3 minute messages, no. The way I explain things takes a lot of words. And if that's not for you, that's okay. I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea or cup of coffee. Nothing? Source, you don't want to add anything? 9 of Cups. Walk away from the things that do not allow you to stand in an emotionally balanced place. Manifest. Take action. You have all of the tools to remove yourself from these environments. And if you're a masculine or someone resonating with the masculine side of this energy and you're like, wait, when so-and-so is around, I do kind of check out. I do kind of get a little fuzzy in the head. I do think differently when I'm not around them, when I'm away from them for a while. You have all the tools to walk away from that, okay? If you are resonating with the masculine energy, you have to make the choice to remove the people that put you in a brain fog, that their energy puts you in a state of lulled to sleep instead of being aware and active in your life, okay? And it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter if they say, no, I'm just praying for you, when really they're preying on you. Because somebody that is praying for you with a genuine intention of your well-being, not you together, you're going to feel clear with them. You're going to feel rejuvenated with them. You're going to feel energized with them. Not drained, not asleep, not like you're out of their, they're gone for a couple of days and it's like you've woken up from a 2-week nap. It's not like that, okay? All right, anything else? Whoever is resonating with this, you have all of the tools you need to remove yourself from these environments, all right? To remove yourself from people who cannot fill their own cup, all right? Because people that have to prey on others and control others and use fear and dominance over others, they do it because they don't have inner strength. They don't have the capacity to fill their own cups. They don't have the capacity to stand on their own in an emotionally independent way. They are codependent on other people's attention, other people's validation, other people's energy as a whole. All right, you have the ability to walk away from that. You have everything you need, even if it doesn't feel like it, inside of you. All right. 8-8 could be significant. So something may be happening pretty quickly that is going to force whoever is resonating with this to realize that you are at the beginning of a journey. You don't have all of the information. You don't have all of the knowledge needed, which is going to put you on a hermit path where you're going within and you're gaining that internal knowledge. You're gaining that internal wisdom. Yeah, you don't, top of the deck is the moon. You don't see everything. Ace of Cups in reversed. You don't see everything, and something emotionally is about to be poured out. Somebody that may be portraying themselves as loving, giving, caring, nurturing, providing, supportive, you're going to see that when it's exposed, you're actually going to see they don't have anything in their cup. They're not actually pouring back into me the way I thought they were, the way that their illusions were showing me they were. They're actually draining because they don't have anything in them themselves. They're very empty because they choose not to go on the path. Not because, oh, they're some NPC and they don't have a soul and they don't have a place and they don't have value. No, we don't do that on this channel. Because they are not healing, because they have not gone on their own hermit journey. Anyone at any given time can go on the solo internal journey and become aware and heal and do all the things just like every other one of us has. Is it their time to do it this lifetime? I'm not going to get that deep into it. But this whole dehumanizing of others because we don't think that they are operating the way that we think that they should be operating has to go. All that's doing is dividing us and putting us into a place of perpetuating the division and the puppeteering. If we're seeing other people as lack of human, dehumanized, they don't have a soul, that means that whatever is done to those people doesn't matter. They don't have a soul anyway. That's how we got into the situations we're in on a macro place, is by seeing other people as less than us, as not needing the support and advocacy. Every single human on this planet has a place. Every single human on this planet can be redeemed if they choose to turn their life around. That doesn't mean that we take them back and they have a place with us. That just means we need to stop dehumanizing others if we ever want to change, because uniting together is how we fix the destruction on a micro and macro level. Uniting. Confirmation from TikTok. Uniting is how we fix that, not dividing. If you don't believe me, the movie Ants, watch it. It explains. When we come together, we are greater than the puppets, the puppeteers. There are more puppets than the puppeteers. All right? Happy healing.